Did you know that over 60% of US senators have been in office for more than a decade? Or that the average tenure of a member of Congress is now longer than ever before, nearly 10 years? While many people think of politics as a space for fresh ideas and new leaders, the truth is that career politicians are becoming the norm. But what does that mean for the future of our country? Are they serving the people or just holding on to power? In this video, we'll dive into the rise of career politicians, uncovering how they climb the political ladder and why they stay there for so long. We'll explore the strategies that make them successful, but also the dangers of staying in power too long. You'll hear surprising facts, stories, and insights that challenge everything you thought you knew about politics. Are we really okay with politicians who stay in power for decades? Or is it time to rethink the political system? Stick around as we reveal what's really going on behind the scenes of political power and the long-term consequences it could have on our democracy. Chapter 1: The Political Marathon: Why Short-Term Leaders Fail in the World of Politics. The rise of career politicians marks a stark contrast to the quick, action-oriented leadership styles of temporary leaders. Politicians who commit to long-term service often think beyond their next election. They focus on creating lasting change rather than just securing their next term. Simon Sinek's concept of the golden circle can be a powerful lens to view this. The most successful politicians don't ask how they'll win, they focus on why they serve. Career politicians, unlike short-term leaders, are driven by purpose. They aren't just responding to immediate pressures, they're thinking decades ahead. This long-term vision often makes them more effective in shaping policy that lasts. For example, Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal reshaped the country, focusing on structural changes that outlived his time in office. Interestingly, research from the Brookings Institution shows that longer-serving politicians tend to create more stable, effective policies. They learn to balance party loyalty with the needs of their constituents, giving them an edge over those who seek to score quick victories. In contrast, new leaders often make hasty decisions that lack depth and compromise, driven by the pressure of re-election. Sinek points out that those with a clear why are more likely to inspire loyalty and trust. This is why career politicians can sometimes seem out of touch. They often believe their long tenure grants them insight that short-term leaders can't grasp. Chapter 2: Hacking the System: How Politicians Navigate the Power Ladder. Politics is a game of strategy, and career politicians are expert players. To rise in politics, one must understand the system's unwritten rules, and no one does this better than those who stick around for the long haul. Career politicians spend years mastering the art of negotiation, coalition building, and using their influence to advance their careers and causes. A great example of this strategy is Nancy Pelosi, whose 17-year journey from Congresswoman to Speaker of the House shows just how effective these long-term tactics can be. Pelosi didn't just climb the political ladder by winning elections, she spent years building alliances, learning the intricacies of her party, and positioning herself to lead. Career politicians also tend to be experts in managing public perception. In his book Leaders Eat Last, Simon Sinek describes how great leaders make people feel safe and valued. Career politicians, by necessity, learn this skill to maintain their popularity and political relevance. They know when to keep a low profile and when to make bold statements, giving them the ability to steer the political narrative in their favor. An often overlooked strategy is adaptability. Career politicians are seasoned in pivoting when necessary, adapting their messages to different audiences or changing circumstances. President Bill Clinton, for instance, was able to shift his political messaging from left-wing populism to a more centrist position, all while maintaining a strong connection to his base. Chapter 3: Simon Sinek's Golden Circle: What Drives Political Success. Simon Sinek's Golden Circle theory, focusing on why you do something rather than how or what, can provide insight into the true motivations behind career politicians. For these politicians, the why often involves a deeply rooted sense of duty, service, or ideology. Think of Winston Churchill. His why was to protect his country from the threat of Nazi Germany, a purpose that kept him focused through the darkest days of World War II. His unwavering commitment to this cause helped him overcome opposition, build crucial alliances, and inspire the British people when they needed it most. In contrast, politicians without a strong sense of purpose often falter when faced with challenges. When political leaders lack a clear why, their actions become reactive and driven by self-interest or the desire for power. This is where short-term leaders often fail. They focus too much on the how and what, neglecting the deeper why that fuels long-term success. A powerful quote from Sinek's Start with Why reminds us, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Career politicians, who understand this principle, engage with their constituents on a deeper level, offering not just policies but a vision of the future. This vision is what inspires trust, loyalty, and lasting political power. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the world of career politicians, make sure to subscribe for more insights into the strategies that drive political success and failure. Chapter 4: The Shadow of Entitlement: How Power Corrupts. The longer someone holds power, the more likely they are to develop a sense of entitlement. Career politicians are not immune to this pitfall. When politicians stay in office for too long, they can lose touch with the people they represent. Instead of focusing on the public good, they become more concerned with preserving their own power. This shift often leads to corruption. A 2018 Harvard Business Review study found that politicians who have been in office for over 20 years are significantly more likely to engage in corrupt practices, as they develop the ability to manipulate systems to their benefit. The danger of long tenure is that politicians begin to view their position as a right rather than a responsibility. They surround themselves with people who only tell them what they want to hear, losing sight of the needs and concerns of their constituents. Simon Sinek, in his book Leaders Eat Last, warns against leaders who become too comfortable. They stop listening, stop adapting, and begin to feel entitled to their position. However, not all career politicians fall into this trap. Some manage to keep their focus on service, using their experience to do good rather than clinging to power. One such example is the late John McCain, whose career spanned over 3 decades. Despite his long tenure, McCain remained committed to serving his country and never stopped questioning the systems he worked within. Chapter 5: Beyond Politics: Career Politicians as Cultural Icons. In the modern political landscape, career politicians are more than just lawmakers, they're cultural icons. Think of figures like Barack Obama, whose presidency reshaped American politics and culture. Obama's speeches were as much about inspiring the public as they were about passing legislation. His "Yes, we can" slogan became a rallying cry that transcended politics and became part of popular culture. Career politicians like Obama understand the power of personal branding. They know that public perception is often shaped by media, and they use this to their advantage. A career politician's ability to engage with the media, craft a message, and build a personal connection with the electorate makes them influential far beyond the political arena. It's not just about policies or speeches, it's about becoming a symbol. In Leaders Eat Last, Sinek argues that leaders must inspire a sense of belonging. Career politicians, with their long tenure and visibility, often find themselves elevated to a level of celebrity, influencing not just politics but broader society as well. This phenomenon isn't just confined to the United States. Figures like Angela Merkel in Germany and Boris Johnson in the UK have cultivated strong public personas that go beyond their roles as politicians. In the 21st century, politics and culture are increasingly intertwined, and career politicians are uniquely positioned to harness that power. Chapter 6: The Future of Leadership: Is democracy ready for career politicians? As we look toward the future, the question arises, is democracy truly ready for career politicians? In recent years, dissatisfaction with established political figures has led to calls for reform, including term limits and greater transparency. Voters are increasingly questioning the effectiveness of long-serving politicians, fearing that their long tenures lead to stagnation and a disconnect from the electorate. Despite these challenges, career politicians still play a significant role in shaping the political landscape. As Simon Sinek suggests, leadership isn't about popularity, it's about vision. While the rise of outsider candidates might suggest a shift away from the traditional political establishment, the truth is that effective leadership often requires experience, patience, and long-term thinking. The future of leadership in democracy may involve a balance between fresh ideas and seasoned expertise. Young, dynamic leaders can bring energy and new perspectives, but experienced politicians can offer stability and knowledge of how to navigate complex political systems. The challenge for the future is to blend the best of both worlds and ensure that politicians, regardless of their tenure, are held accountable for serving the public good. If you've made it this far, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into political strategies, leadership, and the future of democracy.